Hello everyone, I am Vibha Chauhan and welcome to Jain Classes Fundaclia. Today I am going to discuss Class 8 History Chapter 1. Chapter is How, When and Where. Before starting the chapter, I would like to tell you that this chapter is very important for you to understand history. So let's begin. How, when and where. What do you mean by how, when and where? These are the three pillars of history. Something how has happened, where it has happened and when it has happened. So these are the topics of this chapter. How important are dates? Which dates? How do we periodize? What is colonial? How do we know? Administration produces records. Surveys become important. What officials do not tell. So first topic is how important are dates. So there was a time when dates were fascinated with historians. That means dates were synonymous with history. But history is not all about dates. You may have heard that some people don't like history because they think that history is all about dates, but it's not true. History is not all about dates. It is a comparison of before and after, something how it has happened before, how it was before and how it is after. So it is a comparison of before and after. You know that everything has a history. Tea, railway, paper, all things have a history. It was not that tea began in one day. It have a long period to become a beverage of people. So then everything has a time period. I have used time period. Time period is referred to a time like 2019 to 2020. It is a time period of 1 year. But a date is a single particular like 24th May. So this is a difference between time period and date. Then everything has a history. You know that even you have a history of your own. So it is incorrect to precise some fixed dates on processes that happen over a long period of time. Example, people didn't begin drinking tea in one fine day. Second example, British established their control over India not in one day. And national movement started not in one day, not in one fine day. Thus, there can be no one clear date to precise processes like these. Second topic is which dates. So history is not all about dates, but it plays a little role. So question is this: which dates are important? Well, it depends on writer's focus. Like if British are writing history, then they will focus only on their governor generals, like first governor general Lord Warren Hastings to last viceroy Lord Mountbatten, and they won't focus on local people of India. Only they will focus on their own. So it depends on writer's focus of which dates. Example, if I am studying American history, then I will only focus on American dates, American events. So which dates? Answer will be events based. Dates are important on events. So it's event. So next topic is how do we periodize? In 1817, James Smith, a Scottish economist and political philosopher, wrote a 3-volume massive book, A History of the British India. In this book, he divided Indian history into 3 categories: Hindu, Muslim and British. So this was periodization of Indian history into three parts: Hindu, Muslim and British. What do you mean by periodization? Why do we do this? Periodization means dividing at base of its characteristics. For example, in schools you see that periodized classes like upper primary, junior, senior. Why do we periodize? Because in upper primary characteristics are same, so we periodize for this. The periodization of James Mill was widely accepted by people. Can you think any problem of it? Yes, there was problem. In this book, James Mill told that Asia was not civilized territory like Europe, and they need British for civilization. So this was James Mill's suggestion. And there was second problem, that we cannot periodize and time with Hindu or Muslim as religious facts. There was a time when in Delhi there was a Muslim Sultanate, but in South there was not Muslim Sultanate. So in India many faiths existed simultaneously. So this was periodization by James Mill. And so historians divided Indian history into three parts: ancient, medieval and modern. In class 6 you have studied ancient history, in class 7 you have studied medieval history, and in class 8 you will study modern history. But this periodization has its own problem. What was that problem? There was a problem that this was borrowed from West. This was not us, and the term modern refers to equality, liberty, science, civilization. But we see that in British rule there was no liberty or equality between British and India. So this was not right periodization. So historians said modern period as colonial period. What is colonial? So next topic is, what is colonial? Colonial, as you know, that British came in India for trade, and India's local Nawabs and Rajas welcomed them. But as you know that British established their control over the India and subjugated the people of India and bought goods at low prices they wanted to export. So when the subjugation of one country by another like these leads the economic, social, political and cultural changes is known as colonization. Colonization is very important term and refers to a big part of a paragraph. So you have to understand its meaning. Next topic is, how do we know? If I say the history of 10 years, you can say that there was that. But if I say that history of 250 years, history of 2000 years, so then how do we know the history of 250 years? First way of this, administration produces records. One important source of knowing the history of British period is official records written by British administration. So the British Act as the writing was important. Every instruction, decision, agreement, policy, plan, investigation was clearly written up. Once they were clearly written up, they could be studied and debated. The British also felt that letters and documents had to be preserved. For this, records room were there. Every institution, from Tehsildar's office to police commissioner's office to collectorate magistrate's office, had attached records rooms. Specialized institutions, archives and museums were built for preserving the documents and letters. So this was administration produces records. In early 19th century, once they were written up, calligraphists, means those who had very good handwritings, copied those records in beautiful writings. And by the middle of 19th century, when printing processes was started, those documents were printed by printing operations. So this was administration produces records. So next topic is, surveys become important. What are surveys? What do you mean by surveys? If I say that how many children in your school like this chocolate, so you will count, you will ask them that which chocolate do you like, how do you like, okay? So this is a survey of something knowing about people. So British felt that surveys were important for effective administration. In villages, revenue surveys were done. The effort was to know about the topography. As you know, the topography means anything on land, surveying anything on land, whether it is plateau or valley or plate. The quality of soil they had to know. They done surveys for this. By the late 19th century, they came up to be census. Census is done in every 10 years for counting the number of people in all provinces of India. So in British rule, it was also done for counting the people of all provinces of India on base of their castes, religion, etc., etc. Another surveys were also done like botanical survey, geological survey, archaeological survey, means historical survey, and etc. So this was all about surveys become important. So next and last topic of this chapter is what officials do not tell. From these records and information, we can only know about what official thought, what they were interested in, and what they wanted to preserve for their popularity. These records cannot help us to understand what other people felt in the country and what lay behind their actions. So for this we have to look somewhere else, we have to find somewhere else, and as sooner as we begin this, we can find plenty of information, like we have diaries of people and autobiographies of some famous personalities, accounts written by pilgrims and travelers, and as spread of printing started, newspapers were printed out and debates were in public through newspapers. Leaders and reformers wrote their issues, and poets and novelists wrote their feelings, and by this we can know all about the other people. But this was only done by literate. We can only know about the literate person. We can't know about the experience of tribal and peasants of the country, or like who were working in mines or poor in the street, because they were illiterate and can't write their own history. So how can we know about this? For this we have to make a bit of effort, and we can know about them by many ways, and which we will discuss on further chapters. So as I explained whole chapter, now I will discuss question answers of this chapter. First question is true false. James Mill divided history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim and Christian. As I have discussed that James Mill divided history into three periods, but they were Hindu, Muslim and British. Here is given Christian, so this is wrong. Hence this statement is false. Next is official documents help us understand what the people of country think. This statement is completely wrong, because as I have discussed that official documents help us understand what official thought, not what the country of people thought. So this is wrong. We will write here false. Next is the British thought surveys were important for effective administration. This statement is true, because British thought so. So we will write here true. So first question is completed. Next question is what was the problem with the periodization of Indian history that James Mill offers? So we are asked about the problems with the periodization of James Mill. So answer of this question is James Mill divided history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim and British. But this periodization wasn't proper. There were some problems with it as follows. First problem was it is incorrect to refer any period with Muslim or Hindus, because a variety of faiths existed simultaneously. Second problem was it is also not justified to characterize an age with the religion of the ruler of that time. During the ancient period, all rulers didn't share the same faith. And the last problem was Mill, through his periodization, suggested that British conquered all territories of India to ensure the Enlightenment, as if India wasn't capable of progress without British help. So this answer is completed. So next question is, why did British preserve official documents? So we have to tell why British preserved all official documents. Answer of this question is, the British believed that all letters and official documents needed to be carefully preserved. They wanted to preserve permanent records of every instructions, plans, policies, agreements and investigations. Thus all documents were clearly written up and preserved. These records help them to reuse any previous instruction or decision when necessity arose. The British also thought that documents had to be preserved to govern a country successfully. So this was the answer of this question and it's completed. So next and last question of this chapter is, how will the information historians get from old newspapers be different from that found in police reports? So we have to tell how information from old newspaper is different from in police reports. So answer of this question is, the information in police reports only tell us about what officials thought, what they were interested in and what they wish to preserve for future generation. These records do not help the historians to know about the other people of the country, what they felt and how they lived. However, old newspapers, historians know about the action and feelings of common people, what they felt and how they lived. This report may be affected by the personal views of the newspapers, but from this historians can refer what common people thought about an incident. So this was the answer of this last question, and now chapter is completed. I have discussed topics and question answers both, and in next video I will discuss next chapter. Thank you very much.